Hi, if you've not seen this channel before, I normally do music tech demos and reviews, which might be obvious from what I've got behind me, but that means I get hammered with adverts for music production AI apps. So a couple of weeks ago I actually succumbed to buying one, and I've got mildly addicted to trying to recreate the vibe of vintage tracks. I wondered exactly how good it would be at doing something more indie, something less mainstream. So I asked it to recreate the early UK 80s post-punk era. Think Joy Division, The Fall, Echo and the Bunnymen, The Cure. And I picked that era because, to me at least, it's got a definite vibe. The songs feel like they're full of personality. They've not been written by writing teams. They didn't really exist at the time. You can tell that the band themselves have really put their personalities into what you're listening to. And it came up with stuff like this. It doesn't sound too bad, there's some nice ideas in there. It's quite impressive, it was very impressive for a computer to have generated that out of nothing within about 30 seconds. But when you really start to listen to the lyrics and everything else, it's like a half-decent passable band. The sort of band who might have got a deal back in the 80s and then blew the whole thing on one studio session. Sounds really well produced, but they never got round to writing a seminal hit. So I tried it again and got this. And I tried loads of others just to see what it could do, and they were all okay, but there's a sort of a soul missing out of it. There's something that's not quite there, like it's just the notes and no heart behind it. So I thought, let's try and do something more interesting, which is give it the prompt for a song that already exists and see how it can recreate something that you've already given it the descriptors for. You've already tried to explain what the song's going to be. So I thought the perfect one is the one I've just shown in that previous clip, Love Will Tear Us Apart by Joy Division. And this is the very epitome of a post-punk band song about the grimness of life in the late 70s, early 80s in northern UK, and the lyrics can rip your soul in two. They were written by the singer Ian Curtis when he was struggling with epilepsy, depression and a failing marriage, and he died not long after this by suicide, just before the song's release. You can really feel his pain there. It's almost like a physical sensation being dragged into his story. So I used this as a prompt, and this is the Suno version it gave me. And again, it doesn't sound that bad. It sounds okay until you compare it to the original Joy Division song and you realise it's just lost all that depth of feeling. But maybe you really do need some angst. So I tried again, and this time I got much more specific. Another of my absolute favourites is Echo and the Bunnymen's Killer Moon, another track and another band that's definitely worth checking out. So this time I thought, what if we give it the original lyric and a description of the band and the track? I couldn't put the exact lyrics in because it would reject them because they were copyrighted, so I had to change them slightly, but it came up with, well, I did about 50 of them. Here's a selection, or a couple, of the most interesting ones it came up with.
Under blue tunes, I saw you so soon. You make me open your arms. Too late, I miss you. I'll channel it, though I know it must be the filling time, unwillingly mine. Up against you still, through the brick and bin, we will wait until you get yourself so thin.
In the end, I'm definitely with Dennis on that one. And another one that was quite interesting was this one, and it sounds a bit like Dave Gilmour playing a Pink Floyd guitar solo.
Under blue tunes, I saw you so soon. You'll make me open your arms. Too late, I miss you. I'll channel it, though I know it must be the filling time, unwillingly mine. Up against you still, through the brick and bin, we will wait.
And again, okay, it's well produced, it's got some nice things going on there, but it doesn't really pop out as being something, well, it's been something as special or as unique as the original Killer Moon track. So just to test the limits of what it might consider musical, I did try some Spoiled Victorian Child from The Fall, which is again the very essence of late 70s brilliance. And when I prompted it to write a post-punk early 80s UK track about a spoiled Victorian child, it came back with something about Edward's Porcelain Walls, sung by Billie Eil.
Edward's tantrum echoes, porcelain walls crack, a toy soldier's march under a velvet sack.
And I've got loads of these all blended into one big mass of mediocrity.
Oh, you're afraid, fool!
So then I thought, what if I give it more than just the lyrics? What if I give the lyrics and the chords to a track? Again, another original sort of unique sounding track, and this time I went with Radiohead's Everything in Its Right Place. And this is great because I typed in the lyrics and the chords and it came back with this. And maybe, just maybe, you could imagine it as an old classic playing in Starlord's Walkman on his mum's mixtape.
Every city, everything, every city, everything, every city, everything, every city, everything. City in its right place. 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 Yesterday I woke up sucking a lemon. See it. Yesterday I woke up sucking a lemon. See it. Yesterday I woke up sucking a lemon. See it. Yesterday I woke up sucking a F. C D every lemon. F C D every
definitely the most interesting track it came up with so far. I did a load of others, but they all started to sound a little bit like Coldplay. This one here starts off sounding quite unique. It sounds a little bit like it could have been a guitar version of the original track, but again, it then just sort of moves into Coldplay territory.
Innocent, everything in its right place, in its right place, in its right place, in its right place.
And I've never been a Coldplay hater, they all seem like very nice chaps. But after hearing Suno recreate about 50 tracks all with the same vibe, you have to wonder how many Coldplay tracks it might have listened to, examined, analysed and thrown onto a database in some way, because it seems to do them all too well. But with every great song and every great artist, there's a little bit of where on earth did that come from that I'm lacking from everything that you get from Suno. I mean, if you think about any artist that's made a cultural contribution, Bee Gees, Curtis Mayfield, Beastie Boys, Sex Pistols, Stevie Wonder, Prince, Duran Duran, Eminem, Joy Division, The Beatles, and I have to mention Echo and the Bunnymen, NWA, Dolly Parton or David Bowie. Coming from any angle, they all have a certain uniqueness and a certain quality, and maybe just squashing everything together smooths out all those rough edges, and it's those little rough edges, those little weird bits that make things really attractive to us. The perfect face isn't, after all, the most attractive face. In fact, they look a little bit freaky. Maybe it's the same for music. But the real art, the real reason why we love music and it brands us in our teenage years is that we relate to the people behind it. We understand, or we think we understand, their traumas, their life, their angst, their love, their hates. But if it's never going to be real, can version 6 of Suno actually hit us the same way that real personalities do? I mean, maybe it can. We all know that stuff you see on Instagram and on Facebook isn't necessarily real life. Still gets thousands of likes and thousands of thumbs ups. Maybe the majority of people just don't care if it's got a good song, if you can sing along to it, if you can dance to it, if it makes you laugh, if it makes you happy, if it makes you sad. It doesn't really matter. The music itself is doing what music's always done. Anyway, I'll leave you with this. This prompt was based on a description of Billie Eilish's Birds of a Feather. It never seems to be able to keep the vocals low and moody for females. It always goes much more singy than most artists, hence that bit at the bottom. But anyway, let me know what you think, and if you did enjoy this, do like, subscribe, ring the bell, do all those things. But thanks very much for staying to the very end, and I'll see you next time.
Every thought pulls me deeper, I don't care if the